You are listening to Slave Song, an enhanced audiobook written by Jay Koh. Episode 1, Part 3. Two crewmen from the fishing trawler are getting drunk by a beach fire, passing a bottle of Sang Som between them. The captain walks by, dragging the crying girl. The two men encourage their captain to have a good time with her, then asks for permission to take a turn after he is finished. The captain gives them a thumbs up. He then takes the girl into a wooden shack nearby, closing the door behind him. More crying is heard from inside, accompanied by the sinister laughter of the captain. The two crewmen rejoice in their good luck tonight. It's not often they get to drink and get their dicks wet for free. One of the men reaches out for the bottle of rum, but before his friend can hand it off, something flashes through the air and hits his buddy in the face. A popping noise, followed by dark liquid splatter, interrupts their exchange, and his crewmate's face is crushed like a dropped melon. The remaining man is stunned to stillness, his brain not yet comprehending what he just witnessed. The chain retracts into darkness. The stunned sailor's eyes follow the chain back to find Song Bae approaching him. The chain is still secured around his neck, but the other end is loose in his hands. Before the sailor can react, Song Bae swings viciously and strikes again, the heavy chain knocking the breath out of the sailor. He falls forward on his face and tries to scream, but there is sand in his mouth and no more air in his lungs. Song Bae jumps high and lands with his knees on the small of the sailor's back. Although just 15 years old, Song Bae is nearly a full head taller than his captain's. His physique is lean and muscular, but he is not emaciated like other slave boys. Song Bae's knees land with his full weight behind it, crushing the lower spine of the sailor. He then wraps the loose chain around the sailor's neck and pulls back hard, his knees still leveraged against the crushed lower spine. An audible snap indicates a clean break from the lower body. The sailor's body goes limp. The captain is struggling with his unresponsive dick. His naked body is covered in tattoos, and the girl is pinned down between his legs. He slaps the girl, hoping that might inspire an erection. The flimsy shack door explodes open. Song Bae takes the chain in both hands and wraps it around the captain's neck. He pulls hard from behind and holds on tight. The captain flails around like a grounded fish, trying to toss the boy off his back. He is much heavier than Song Bae and won't go down so easily. He slams Song Bae backwards into the nearest wall. The wooden shack is pieced together from driftwood and plastic sidings. It does not hold up to both of their weight. The two struggling bodies blast through the wall. Song Bae lands sandwiched between the captain and the ground. Air rushes out his lungs, and his vision blurs dark around the edges. But he holds onto the chain and pulls it even tighter around the captain's neck. Song Bae's rage-filled mind remembers the countless days he fantasized about killing this captain. His simmering hate fed his body and soul, and it gave him extra strength today. The captain's lungs pull desperately for air. He reaches back to claw at Song Bae's face, his dirty fingernails trying to find flesh. Song Bae closes his eyes and lets his mind drift, waiting for death to find the captain. It seemed like hours, but he could finally sense life leaving him. One final pull from his empty lungs, then his body lets go. Life and bowels empty the captain. Song Bae lies there still, his grip still tight around the chain. A few minutes go by, and he starts regaining his senses, his rage slowly lifting. The noise of the sobbing girl clears his mind completely, and he gets up to check on her. When he approaches, she shies away timidly, her terror still fresh on her mind. Song Bae sits down next to her, giving her time. She watches him with her big brown eyes, slowly recovering her senses. She points to his neck. He had forgotten about the bloody chain around it. He shows her the key, and she takes it from him. Then she reaches out to unlock the padlock. The bloody chain slides off his neck and hits the floor. They both stare at it for a while. They bury her pet monkey together, thankful for its sacrifice. Song Bae decides that the 3 dead crewmen should be left to the giant coconut crabs to devour. Already, These monsters were swarming the beach to feast on them. The little girl helps him clean out the wound around his neck. The leftover bottle of Sang Song proved handy in disinfecting it. This wound was uniquely symmetrical, contrasting against the irregular scars from cane whippings collected on his body. Song Bei tries sending the little girl back to her village, but she refuses to leave him. He knows that the rest of the crew will return in the morning, and he needed to make his escape before then. Song Bei finds the small boat used by the crew to come ashore. It is loaded with supplies for their larger ocean trawler. Song Bei and the girl reach the vessel anchored a few hundred yards out the shore. They find a dozen kids chained up, huddled in filthy squalor. They recognize Song Bei. He unlocks their chains using the captain's key.